guys, we are back with another song by Eminem. And what song are we doing?
Little Engine.
I don't think I know that.
So I actually think you do. I think once you hear it,
Really?
yeah, I think once you hear it, you'll recognize it. This was one
Okay.
of the songs. I actually have a very clear memory of the day this album came out. Later in the day, we were walking our dog in our old apartment, and I was playing this part for you, and me and you were like trying to figure out the lyrics.
Okay. I don't remember that because I don't know the song.
Yeah,
I can't think of it.
yeah. So this is track number 15 off of Music to Be Murdered By, which
Mhm.
we're still on. We'll do what we normally do. We'll listen, we'll break it down, all that stuff.
Okay. And we also now finally have an announcement that we have to make. So kind of explaining why we've only been putting out like one video a week, if that. So I'm pregnant. And I've been like really sick and that's normal, but I don't have I don't like have it in me to record a lot. So that's why we haven't been recording a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, we are due in December.
Yes.
Yes. And
Very
okay.
exciting.
Yes. um So yes, this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. It is one of my favorite meat snacks and it is absolutely delicious. They're all minimal ingredients. This one is the rib eye and it has 100% grass-fed beef rib eye and Redmond real salt. They're all regeneratively raised and grass-fed. Absolutely delicious. It's like eating a meat potato chip. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend them. I especially recommend the sliders. And you can use our coupon code with Smith for 15% off your order. And the link is in the description below. We're also sponsored by Chomps, which is my other favorite meat snack and my absolute favorite beef jerky. And it also is minimal ingredients, grass-fed or free range, depending on the type of meat. The gray one up there is the salt and pepper venison, which is my absolute favorite one. They're all super soft and moist and delicious. There's my favorite. And really, really delicious. If you've never tried it, you really should. You can use our coupon code with Smith for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions. Also, we are sponsored by SeatGeek, which is my favorite website to get tickets for. You get tickets for comedians, for concerts, for sporting events, for like literally anything you can think of. And you can use our coupon code with Smith right here for $20 off your first purchase. And the link is in the description below. Check out our Amazon storefront if you would like to. Like and subscribe, and follow us on social media channels if you want. And that's it.
Here we go. Little Engine.
I trust that everyone is enjoying the music. As the title of the album suggests,
I remember this part.
this was meant for
Throughout
your
the album,
listening
yeah.
pleasure while you are being done in.
Call this evil intent, like me in a limo. Yeah. Like the shade of these windows. Smoke gray, ladies go mental, but no way they can see in no. OJ blade is a pencil. Propane taking my cranium, coke name, titanium temple. I almost swallowed my car. I call my Mercedes a Benzo. Bitch, I ball like a baby. Ball like Jay, but not Jay is in. Jay-Z, Jay is in Leno. Cause I got a huge mansion. No, huge mansion. New Manson, loose cannon. Too scantless, Sue Atkins. The kind of crazy you can't fix. I'm still the one that your parents hate. I'm in your house eating carrot cake. While I sit there and wait and I marinate. I'm irritated. You about to meet a scary fate and come home to find yourself staring straight into a fucking barrel like Sharon Tate. Trace like a church while I narrate. Yeah, you be on the straight and narrow like a fucking arrow shape. I be on a higher plane. In aerospace, with so much leg room and airspace on this airplane. Unlike you, cause you're on a flight too, but it's a staircase. Now, little engine go, bin go. I'm losing control. Heroin and blow, Marilyn Monroe. Overdid the dose. Time to rip pro. Up the window, like a window. Little engine go, little engine.
Okay.
I know this song. I don't remember us ever going over it, but you play it a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Or like you have played it a lot.
Yes. So this song obviously samples Alfred Hitchcock from his Music to Be Murdered By, right? He carries that theme throughout the whole album. The name of this song, let's see, I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's from I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. That's the name of the track on Alfred Hitchcock's Music
It's
to
a pretty
Be
cool title.
Murdered By. Yeah. So he says, I trust that everyone is enjoying the music. As the title of the album suggests, this was meant for your listening pleasure while you are being done in.
It's like such a nice way to say being murdered.
Yeah.
I almost like don't even think anything of it. I'm like, oh, that's nice,
Yeah.
pleasant.
It's cool how he got that. So apparently, Eminem said in an interview there was even more like of a tie-in from the album. I guess more samples and stuff that he wanted to use, but he couldn't.
Mm.
So
Why?
I don't know. It's weird to get clearance for some and not others. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why though. It is a weird thing.
Maybe they're like more special, the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because he has like direct samples of his, voice, so it's strange. Okay, the lyrics on the screen are a shit show. They're like so many words. It's like most of them are right, but then a single word is off, and it's like
Oh, so it's like hard
annoying.
to follow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read from my phone. I have the lyrics on here. So he comes in. He says, "Call this evil intent, like me in a limo."
Oh, like in
Yes.
tint,
So
like the windows.
yes, so he does that in evil intent, like his intentions are evil, and then like you said, it's like a homophone for intent, T-I-N-T, like me in a limo tint. Then he continues, he says, like the shade in these windows. So the limo tint, right?
Yeah.
Smoke gray, ladies go mental, but no way they can see in though. So it's pretty straightforward. So I
Yeah,
guess
like
I guess
literally
the
describing a limo. You can't see inside.
and then he's saying smoke gray, which is interesting. I've seen grayish tint, but usually black.
Yeah.
Unless he's also just talking about smoke.
I don't know.
Yes. All right. Then he continues. OJ, blade as a pencil, propane tank in my cranium, code name titanium temple.
Why is the blade a pen? Oh, okay. Never mind. I get it.
Yeah, so OJ Simpson, instead of a knife, Eminem's pencil, that's his blade. And then he says propane tank in my cranium. So he has a propane tank in his head. I guess, it could ignite
It's
it,
gonna
explode.
explode.
And then he says codename Titanium Temple. So that's a play back on the propane tank in his head, right? And he says, I almost swallowed my car. I call my Mercedes a benzo. So
It's like a
benzodiazepine,
Xanax.
yes. And then for Mercedes Benz. Then he continues. He says, bitch, I bawl like a baby. Bawl like Jay. Not as in, not Okay, hold on. Bold like Jay, but not Jay as in Jay-Z. Jay as in Leno. So it starts off with the I bawl like a baby, so like crying, like B-A-W-L.
Yeah.
And then he says bowl like Jay, but not as in Jay-Z. So he's not referring to Jay-Z, who's, billionaire. He's talking about bowling like Jay Leno, who's also very rich. But then he continues and says, because I got a huge mansion.
Like a
No,
mansion.
huge mansion. Yeah, it actually
And he had to explain it
They
again
have it right here. Yeah, which is funny. And then
because Jay Leno has a big
yeah,
chin.
he does. And then he says, New Manson, loose cannon, too scandalous, Sue Atkins. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna
Like
say,
new Manson, like Charles.
yes, so there's a scheme here that carries on. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna read straight through. So New Manson, loose cannon, right? Too scandalous, Sue Atkins. We gotta read a little
Sue
more. So we
Atkins.
got to read a little more before we can break this all down because it's all tied in. Then he says, the kind of crazy you can't fix. I'm still the one that your parents hate. I'm in your house eating carrot cake while I sit there and wait and I marinate. And then I'm irritated. You about to meet a scary fate and come home to find yourself staring straight into a fucking barrel like Sharon Tate.
Okay.
All right.
Is Sue Atkins one of the Manson family?
Yes. Okay. So New Manson, Charles Manson,
Yeah.
loose cannon, right? Crazy person.
Yeah.
Too scandalous, Sue Atkins. So, like you said, yes, Sue Atkins was one of the killers. Now, this Sue Atkins line is a triple entendre, a true one with three totally different references.
So like suing the Atkins diet?
Yes.
I
And
don't know the
then
other one.
Susan Atkins was the killer, and then there was a TV show host named Sue Atkins, right?
Okay.
So she was like a parenting coach or something. right? Okay, so then I'm going to show you how he
Interesting.
ties in all three of these themes here, which is crazy. I may need to look up exactly. So it says the kind of crazy that you can't fix, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
goes for like the Charles Manson and Susan Atkins, the killer, right?
Yeah.
Then he says, I'm still the one that your parents hate. So that goes to the Sue Atkins that is the parenting coach because that was on TV. She used to hate on like, I guess like rappers and stuff, saying like that's not appropriate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then he says, I'm in your house eating carrot cake while I sit there and wait and I marinate. So Atkins, like the food company, got sued for using words specifically carrot cake and marinate. Let me see if they have
I did
example
not
why.
know that.
Yeah, let's see. So I'm on Genius right now. So they will.
Sued by who?
Okay, it says Atkins Nutritional Inc. being sued for mislabeling their products in January 2020, hence the use of food related terms like carrot cake and marinate. Okay, and then
Okay.
Sue Atkins is a parenting coach, often appearing on This Morning. So, yeah, those are the two references.
That's so weird.
Yes, so then he says, well, I sit there, I wait, and I marinate, right? So that's the food company. And then he
And it's also
says,
talking about like marinating like meat. Because like
so you,
Atkins is like a meat diet.
true, that's a good point. And then obviously the straightforward literal meaning is he's marinating, like he's like waiting there for you. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
then also the funny part is like if you're doing Atkins, you wouldn't be able to eat carrot cake.
yeah. Although I think they had like Atkins approved stuff. And
Oh, really?
I think that's probably what the lawsuit was over. It's like this isn't really carrot. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like artificial stuff.
Oh.
So then he says, I'm irritated. You're about to meet a scary fate. Come home and find yourself staring straight into a fucking barrel like Sharon Tate. So that goes back to the Manson, Susan Atkins, right? So that ties in there.
I thought Sharon was stabbed to death.
I think she was. They may have had a gun too, you
Yeah.
know. And then the lyrics completely wrong after that. It says Dre's like DRA, Dr. Dre. Dre's on concerto while I narrate. So Dre's making the beat. Eminem is narrating. He's rapping over it.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to say that. Then he continues. He says, "Yeah, you be on the straight and narrow like a fucking arrow shape. I'd be on a higher plane in aerospace with so much leg room and airspace on this airplane. Unlike you, because you're on a flight too, but it's a staircase."
I'm basically saying like you're going nowhere and he's going to the top.
Yeah, so he does this little cool plane scheme, right?
Yeah.
So you've been the straight and narrow like a fucking arrow shape. So there he's just talking shit. And then I'm on a higher plane. So plane, aerospace, and then he does the leg room, airspace, airplane, and then flight. So he's like, yeah, okay, I'm on this plane, I'm on a higher level, like you were saying, and you're on a flight, but it's a staircase, which is
Yeah, so
actually,
you're not like going anywhere.
yes. All right, and then the chorus is, now little engine go, finna vrin vrin go, I'm losing control. So, I mean, that's straightforward.
Yeah, like he's going.
So, oh, obviously, which I didn't mention, I just figured it was understood. The little engine, it is a play on like the little engine that could. Apparently,
Yeah, that makes sense.
he liked that book when he was younger. Then he says, heroin and blow, Marilyn Monroe, over dose. So they say that so I don't think it was heroin and blow that she
No, it
overdosed
was
on.
barbiturates
Yeah.
and like alcohol, I thought.
Yeah. So whatever. He's just saying, I'm losing control. He's on heroin and blow. And then he's equating that to Marilyn Monroe overdosing. And then he says, time to Rick roll up the N dough like a win dough.
Okay.
Which is funny.
So time to roll up the endo like a window.
Yes.
Because you roll up a window.
But he says Rick roll, which is just a random thing that he says, which is funny.
Yeah.
It's obviously Rick rolling.
Uh-huh.
And then he says, little engine gone, little engine. All right. We will pick it up here.
Are we going to finish it out?
No, there is 3 verses. So break it down.
Go, little engine. I am the top selling. Who cares? Stop dwelling, then stop yelling. I'm not yelling. You're yelling. Smoke yelling. God damn it. Fuck is that? Stop hammering. God. That's what it sounds like in my brain. Much as I fight to restrain, I have the right to remain violent. Any rhyme that I say can and will be used against you. Icicle Danes, mics will get slain like they were strangled with bicycle chains. You're gonna have to come identify the remains. Wait, what? I said my head is twisted like a red tie. Yep, can't get a fucking word in edgewise. Shut up. Success overnight like a red eye. Bitch, dressed like a Jedi at a Best Buy on the west side. I'm hot dog. No, you're not. I'm the guy with the Oscar admirers and appliances by the washer and dryers. Chick ran up like Marshall on fire. I looked down and said, no, I'm not, you're a liar. She said, no, your music. Heard you back with the doctor, then I heard. Now, little engine go, bin go. I'm losing control. Heroin and blow, Marilyn Monroe. Overdid the dose. Time to rip pro. Up the innuendo, like a window. Little engine go, little engine.
Okay.
It's so short.
I know. It's only 3 minutes song.
I know.
There was a little bridge there that we probably could have done, but whatever. I'll just let it play out after this. Okay. So you remember this part of the song, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is
It's
the part we
funny.
were laughing at when we
Yeah.
first heard it. So it actually doesn't, it only has the first line. So in the background, you can hear he's having a conversation with himself. So we're only seeing the obvious one way, but I'm going to read also what he's saying to each thought. So he says, I am the top selling, who cares? And then you hear, so what? You sound dumb. And then he says, stop dwelling, then stop yelling. And then you hear, you sound like an idiot. I'm not yelling, you're yelling.
Which is so funny.
Yes. And then shut up, Jesus Christ, guys. Smart Alec, God damn it. And then you sound like an idiot. Oh my God. Then he says, fuck is that? Stop hammering. God damn it. Guys, hey, stop arguing. And then that's what it sounds like in my brain.
So basically saying like all these voices are just like talking to themselves in his head.
Yes. And then the stop hammering is a reference to the news anchor on was it MSNBC? It was either Chris Matthews or Lawrence O'Donnell. The stop the hammering. It was so they caught him. He was it was like on the commercial break or whatever.
Mm.
And he's like trying to, or they were pre-recording it and he was trying to like do the news. I think he was talking about like Trump or something. It was very early on in the Trump administration. And he's like, stop talking. I can hear who the fuck is talking in my headphones? And they're like, who's talking about vacation? And like he's like reading the news and then saying that, and then he hears, I hear hammering, stop the hammering, like yells at the top of his lungs. Yeah, it's a very funny video. I showed it to you a while ago, but
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember if it was Chris Matthews or Lawrence O'Donnell. It was one of them. So that's a reference to that, the stop the hammering. And then, like you pointed out, that's what it sounds like in my brain. Then he continues, he says, much as I fight to restrain, I have the right to remain violent. So the restrain, almost like a police officer, right? And then he says, I have the right to remain violent instead of the right to remain silent, right? So, but it's actually very, as much as I fight to restrain.
Which are like opposites, kind of.
And then I have the right to remain violent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fight, violent, restraint, all those things. Then he says, any rhyme that I say can and will be used against you.
So more Miranda, right?
Yes, exactly. Then he says, icicle veins, mics will get slain. Like they were strangled with bicycle chains. So ice cold blood in his veins. He's going to kill Mike's as if they were strangled with bicycle chains. You're going to have to come identify the remains. Then he says, wait, what? Which is, again, I guess like his head, random voices and thoughts. He continues. He says, I said my head is twisted like a bread tie. Can't get a fucking word in edgewise. Success overnight like a red eye. So that's pretty straightforward. Twisted like a bread tie, you twist them. Can't get a fucking word in edgewise. So voices again. Success overnight like a red eye. So a red eye flight.
Yeah, they're overnight.
Then he says, dressed like a Jedi at a Best Buy on the west side. I'm hot dog. No, you're not. I'm the guy with the Oscar at Myers in appliances by washers and dryers. All right. So the dressed like a Jedi at a Best Buy. So he's referring to like his hood up. There was something about pictures of him somewhere. I forget, he had his hood up, and then you're like, oh, you look like a Jedi, but he also does love Star Wars, right? So he's saying he's dressed like a Jedi, so he has his hood up, trying not to be noticed at a Best Buy on the west side. I mean, it's like straightforward. Okay, then he does the scheme where he's like, I'm hot dog, meaning like, oh, I'm hot, right? But he introduces hot dog. He says, I'm the guy with the Oscar. And then he says at Myers. So Meijers. We don't have them around here, but they're like a store.
Yeah, never heard of it.
So it does sound like he's saying, I'm the guy with the Oscar admirers. It does kind of sound like he has an Oscar and he has admirers, but he's saying he has an Oscar and he's at Myers, right? At the appliances in appliances by washers and dryers. So
Okay.
he's just doing a play on all that. And then he continues, chick ran up like Marshall on fire. I looked down and said, no, you're not. No, I'm not. You're a liar. She said, know your music. Heard you're back with the doctor. Then I heard. So this girl saw him. You're fire. Said, no, I'm not. You're lying. And she's your music. And then he said he's back with the doctor. And then blah, blah, blah. All right. We're going to finish this out. I'm going to pick up where this bridge was.
Little engine, go now. Psycho killer, Michael thriller, my flow, ape shit. I go thriller, my flow stiller, psycho killer, hi ho silver. Similes and idioms, giddy up. I think I can, I know I can. Psycho I am. Michael, my knife go right hand in my left hand. I hold my stand. Yeah. Little engine go, chick chill. I got zip zero, zip zero. Just like Kaepernick, I got nil. Where the good whip will. This must be how being hood rich feels. Was a ghetto boy, now I ball out like Bushwick Bill. Gonna take you out like an outro. Bruce Wayne and Alfred the Gallo. Blueface meets out with a salvo. Balbo with a scalpel. Scoundrel hound with a mouthful of outpo. Now go. Little engine go. Bin go. I'm losing control. Heroin and blow. Marilyn Monroe. Overdid the dose. Time to rip pro. Up the innuendo. Like a window. Little engine go. Little engine.
Okay. So there's only a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So this little bridge, he comes in and he says, psycho killer, Michael thriller, my flow, ape shit, I go Rilla. So he says psycho killer, right? And then he says Michael. So like Michael,
Michael Myers.
yes. And then he says Michael thriller. So switches it to Michael Jackson. Then he says my flow ape shit, I go Rilla.
Like a gorilla.
Yes. And then he goes realer, right? And then he continues. He says, my flow, still a psycho killer. Nitro, hi ho silver, similes and idioms, giddy up. So the hi ho silver was it's a line from the Lone Ranger.
Okay.
He'd ride a horse. So that's where the giddy up ties in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then nitro, like fast, like
Yeah, like
exploding.
quick.
And then similes and idioms get up. So there's a bunch of idioms and similes throughout the song.
Yeah.
All right. And then he comes in saying, I think I can, I know I can, psycho I am.
Which is like the book, the
Yeah,
little engine that
could.
could.
Yes. So he thinks he can, he knows he can, he knows he's a psycho. Michael, my knife go right hand. In my left hand, I hold mic stand. So he has a knife in his right hand, like Michael Myers. Then the mic stand. Then he says, little engine, go. Chicka chill. I got zero, zip zilch. Like Kaepernick, I got nil. So he's doing a play. So he says, chill, I got zero, zilch, right? Like Kaepernick, I got nil. So he's doing a play on nil, like NIL, and then Neil, which obviously
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick, kneeling for the national anthem. Then he continues, he says, word to goodwill. This must be how being hood rich feels. So Goodwill, it's like the clothing donating
Yeah,
store.
where you donate.
I had to do community service there when I was younger. So then, he's saying we're to Goodwill being hood rich, right? Because he's getting, cheap hand-me-downs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, was a ghetto boy, but now I ball out like Bushwick Bill. So this is a sick fucking line. So the Ghetto Boys were a rap group, and Bushwick Bill is a member of them.
Oh,
And
okay.
he is missing an eye.
Okay.
So I ball out like Bushwick Bill. You get it?
Yeah,
'Cause
no, I didn't know those group.
yeah, so he doesn't have an eyeball, so he's saying I ball out, meaning like I got a lot of money, whatever, but also he's literally missing an eyeball.
Yeah.
Then he says, finna take you out like an outro. Self-explanatory. Bruce Wayne and Alfred, look out, ho. Blueface meets Albert DeSalvo. Balboa with the scalpel. Scoundrel Hound with a mouthful of Alpo. Now go. All right, so Bruce Wayne and Alfred, look out, ho. So he's equating himself to like Bruce Wayne and Alfred Hitchcock, but Alfred is also the name of his like servant. So it's a little
Okay.
interesting there. And then he says, Blueface meets Albert DeSalvo. So I don't know. Blueface is the rapper. I don't know if this is a shot at him, but Albert DeSalvo is the Boston Strangler. So I don't
I
know if
didn't know his
so
name.
I don't know if he's saying he's a combination of Blueface and Albert DeSalvo,
Most
or if
likely.
he's saying he meet. You know what I mean?
He does that a lot.
And then Balboa with the scalpel. So like Rocky Balboa, right, from the movie. And then also a scoundrel hound with a mouthful of Alpo.
Ew.
So a dog with Alpo's dog food. And
Gross.
then that is it, just the chorus again.
Okay.
All right.
That's a really good song. It's like very like high energy. It's like fun and it's pretty short, but you know, he gets a lot in there even though it is so short.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones on this album. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good.
He's got like a really good flow too. I mean, the rhymes are there, you know. It's not his like most complex shit on the album even, but it's like, you know, it's good, but it's fun. I like the vibe and everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
for sure.
Well, I forgot how I usually end our videos. Oh, right. Check out Carnivore Snacks, Chomp, SeatGeek, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.